Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Breakout Summer Games. It's been a wonderful night filled with runs. We just saw a chaotic but wonderful BC ball run. I'm personally kind of happy about that because I wanted to play the game, so I feel like I missed some spoilers that way. But if you're sitting here thinking, man, I can't believe this breakout's almost over. When can I watch some more cool Binary Breakers event? Well, I have an answer for you. Coming up on Sunday, June 22nd, we'll be hosting Full Round and Find Route. There's not an and, but I feel like it flows better. It's going to be a skills-based event where we are showing an approachable 100% run, given Q&A time, equipped with tools to route an any percent run from what we've seen and learned. We'll be joined by Oregon Mike for the event, and we'll be sharing their expertise in Ultima 4 Quest for the Avatar. Also, for our next breakout, mark your calendars for Sunday, August 8th at 4 p.m. PDT or 7 EDT, because we'll be hosting the breakout Mixed Bag right here on Binary Breakers channel. This is intended to be a variety of specials. We're looking for challenge runs, rhythm games, randomizers, bingo showcase, anything you can think of that's outside the box. Got a run that is so unique, so broken, that sheer chaos can overwhelm the unprepared. This one's for you. Remember, you can always join us in the Discord. Invitations are always open, or submissions are always open. You can always email us at info@binarybreakers.com. But why we are here is for Bo's upcoming run of Kitsune Tales, Kiri presents. Bo, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Thanks, Star. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good time zone, depending on where you're at. My name is Debonair VT, but you can all call me Bo. It's easier for all of us. And tonight, we're going to be running Kiri Percent in Kitsune Tales. I am joined, as usual, by the lovely Rally. Rally, how are you this evening?
Doing fantastic. Always happy to be here.
And it's lovely to have you for sure. So we are going to be taking y'all through the second half of Kitsune Tales. This is a lovely little love letter to Super Mario 3. Except in this case, Mario is a gay fox girl and has a sword. So that is, if that doesn't sell you on the game, I'm not sure what will. We're basically going to be playing through Act 2 of the game tonight. And before we get into the run, I'm gonna let you in on the magic. And the magic in this case is the magic postcard. Now, we're not entirely sure why this works yet. So if anybody decides that they want to help us figure it out, we will be thrilled for the information. But the magic postcard has a little bit of influence on a couple of things throughout the run, specifically minigame RNG seeding. There's one minigame that we're going to play that we need to grab a couple of guaranteed items from, and for whatever reason, and again, we're not quite sure why this works, but it does, and it's consistent. Setting the magic postcard to have ones in everything will make it so that the items that we want are always behind the same door. So that's what we're doing here. And I think that's pretty much everything that we need to chat about before we get started. So we're going to get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So the very first thing we're going to do is say goodbye to Purple Fox, because Purple Fox is named Yuzu, and Yuzu is not Kiri, but we're playing Kiri Percent. So we'll catch up with her later towards the very end of the game. A lot of the fun of Kiri Percent comes from the special abilities and things that you are able to get as you go through the game. Yuzu tends to be more comparable to your standard Mario character. She gets costumes that have specific power-ups, and those allow her to move through levels very quickly and uniquely. Kiri, on the other hand, has her own suite of abilities, and this is where we would learn about them, but played the game before, so we're just going to skip the tutorial and go fight the first mini boss. However, this would be a great time to let everybody know what those abilities are, Rally, if you want to give a breakdown.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to. Compared to Yuzu, who's kind of like, as mentioned, has more of the Mario set of powers of butt sliding down hills, jumping on top of things, having costumes that are usually given a power, and having 2 hits. A larger form and then a smaller form after you take damage. Kiri has a sword, and the sword lets her attack all the time. She could always put out. It's similar to like a cape twirl or the raccoon tail. It's that sort of attack. She has wall jumps, as you can see there. She can slide on the ground to gain speed. She has the ability to break blocks beneath her. And she has a very important ability, which is that if she attacks things in the air, it will reset her abilities and give her a double jump. And you're going to see this a lot, like more towards the middle and the end of the game. It'll come up a lot more, but being able to refresh her abilities in the air gives her a sort of sword-based flight ability, which is where a lot of the really cool movement in the game comes from. So it's very more like dynamic, and you kind of route through enemies, but it is very sword-centric, and I hope you enjoy the ride.
Yeah, for sure. You will notice, though, that in the early game, we're not really using a ton of fancy sword abilities, and that's because we don't have any yet. We start out in the specifically the Kiri % new game category with none of our fancy footwork or sword abilities unlocked. All we have are the default abilities that you get just for being able to play as Kiri, which are, as Rally mentioned, the wall jump. Oh, we missed that one. Bummer. The wall jump, some basic sword slashes, a slide, and then the breaking blocks, which you'll see a little bit, but not a ton. We're going to be unlocking these powers progressively, 1 per world, as we fight an overworld mini boss. So you may have seen on the world map when we popped in here, it doesn't look like there's anything else there really. It's just kind of, 5 stages, and that's true because this is world 1. But once we get into world 2 and beyond, there's going to be, your traditional Hammer Brothers style enemies that walk around on the overworld. And one of the unique spots for Kiri's half of the game are fights with our mentor Aaron. Aaron is another kitsune that you meet during the story, and she's Kiri is her protege. Aaron is Kiri's teacher. And so she is kind of ordered by her not so great boss to stop Kiri from rescuing the damsel in distress at any costs. And Aaron doesn't really think that that's the correct choice. So she says, all right, I have to stop you because that's my job. So you better watch carefully because I'm going to defeat you with this special move, wink, wink. And every time we defeat Aaron, we pick up a new ability. So we stan Aaron in this house. Aaron gives us access to basically all of our cool things.
And also, as far as the run goes, early on you start out with a smaller set of powers, but kind of as the levels progress and as you get further in, you get a lot more tools available to you. So the routing possibilities kind of evolve as the game grows.
Yeah, for sure. The other there's 2 other very important tricks to the beginning of the game, and you've seen both of them a couple of times already. This one is probably this is probably the most important, and it's referred to as slope jumping. It is kind of what it sounds like. As you slide down slopes, if you slide and you just hold it down and you don't press any other directions, you maintain the momentum that you had during the slide. So you can carry that. As long as you keep re-jumping, you can carry that for the whole stage if you'd like.
If there's any old Quake players or Team Fortress Soldier players, it's similar in that when you rocket jump and you get all that acceleration, as long as you don't hit the W key, you'll keep it. It's similar for Kiri. As long as she doesn't hit the forward button, she can kind of retain that momentum. But if she taps forward, it does kind of reset to the default.
Yeah. The other thing is what we just did, which is the difficulty that we're playing on is the easiest difficulty. And the end goal of that is, this game was developed with gamers of all levels of skill in mind, which first of all is just fabulous. But second of all, it gives us a really unique movement tool. Anytime you would die in this game, on this difficulty, you are instead of having the screen reset or getting kicked back out to the overworld map or anything like that, you come back to about where you were, but you're on a cloud. The cloud moves in every direction and moves pretty quickly. So we are going to be using that quite a bit early on to move vertically fast. The other kind of sneaky benefit of this, which is definitely meant to be soft lock protection, is that you can get squished into walls, and when you get squished into a wall, all of your wall collision is disabled because, again, you don't want to get soft locked in any way. But we can use that to fly vertically or horizontally through walls. So you'll be seeing that a little bit when we get into World 2. So that's World 1 done. From here on, everything is going to be, more or less pretty chill. As we pick up new powers, we'll mention them, and if there's anything that's super important or interesting about the stages, we'll let you know. This is a very important meeting. This cat fellow is going to be our friend throughout the rest of the run. We refer to him as Montgomery because of a minigame that will be coming up later, and we'll keep that one a secret. But if any of y'all can think of what a short nickname for Montgomery might be, you may have an idea about what that minigame is going to be.
And just kind of touching real quick about the cloud mechanic is there are, in this run, for speedrunning purposes, there's two kinds of clouds. There's the good clouds and the bad clouds. Good clouds is when we want to go vertically, or we want to squish into a wall, or we want to take advantage of the mechanic, we can hug something dangerous, and then we acquire a cloud. But if we want to push forward in the run and try all like the really tight speed strats and just go for all the big tricks, and you miss a little bit, you get a bad cloud. But the bad cloud isn't entirely bad because you can still go for all the big stuff without having to lose a bunch of time and reset the whole room. So it does make it a bit marathon friendly to run it on this difficulty.
Yeah, it also means that you can literally go for every trick all the time. And as I'm sure, a bunch of speedrunners already know, some days you're hot and some days you're not. And on your not hot days, you can still clear a run with only, a very minimal amount of time lost, because dying is like a couple of seconds to come back and then you can hop off. You might lose your momentum or something, and maybe you restart the stage and lose another 5 or 6 seconds. But it means that you can really just kind of power through runs and just keep learning about new setups and new things. So it has been immensely helpful for me, both routing and learning all there is to learn about Kitsune.
That was close. That was close.
It was. I really thought I was gonna.
Oh, no.
There we go.
That's
karma.
mustard.
That's karma for dodging the first one, I think. Yeah, those kappa are they don't hurt you, but they do grab you and drop you into the water. And some of the setups that you'll find them in, goodness gracious, those dogs are booking it. Some of the setups you'll find them in are a little fear-inducing, let's say. They'll drop you into spikes or sometimes into lava. There's a lot of spooky stuff that they will do. All right, we're gonna try to dodge this ghost here.
If I may, we're in a ghost house at the moment, and ghosts in Kitsune Tales work a little bit differently from Mario ghosts. It doesn't matter if you look at them or not, they will always chase you, but if you enter the light, then they lose interest and they stop chasing you. And if they enter the light, they become intangible and they can't hurt you anymore. And this is, I'll let Bo explain what they're doing right now.
Yeah, so as mentioned previously, when you get crunched into a wall, in order for you to not be unable to play the game, your wall collision gets a little messed up. So what we're doing here is we're taking a couple of very specific wall crunches to get pushed out of bounds so that when we come back to life, we don't have wall collision, and we can kind of skip this entire every cycle in this very vertical cycle based room, and it makes it go by way faster than we would otherwise. So a couple of those jumps are a little tricky, so I'm very happy that we got that in its entirety. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be using this neat little death abuse trick to do.
It is a strong example of the good cloud.
Oh, I jumped.
And this
too
is
early.
an example of the bad cloud.
It is. We just wanted to show them off back to back. Oh, the other really good thing about this run is, as Raleigh was saying earlier, because you can try every trick, most of the tricks that you would want to do. Oh,
Good
these
dog.
dogs are great. Thank you. The fellas came
dog.
through for us. Because you can try every trick, in addition to learning all of the neat little tricks and things that you can do in the run, it also means that that you're able to excuse me, because all of the tricks more or less are trying to move you forward very quickly, you can try basically every trick. And even if you do end up getting a bad cloud, it's kind of only like a mediocre cloud, because you're still almost definitely saving time on doing it normally. So we now have access to Blade Dash, which is one of the two. Oh, we didn't quite get exactly what I wanted there. One of the two main movement tech pieces of this run. This is our horizontal slash. You have full invulnerability while you're doing it, so you can kind of use it to carve through enemies if you need to. And since you can use it in the air, you are able to kind of slide over gaps and save short jumps or you know, suspicious looking, maybe I got that, maybe I didn't moments. For our purposes, for the most part, we are going to be using Blade Dash just as a way to we're going to be using Blade Dash as a way to deal with enemies while continuing to move forward. Oh goodness,
Mike's got your number today.
yeah, they're giving me the business, like so. So it allows us to kind of clear horizontal space very well. It lets us immediately achieve momentum in the air where we would otherwise be drifting. It's just a very, very powerful tool for basically all of the movement tech that we have in the run. The second really big piece to our movement tech we're going to get in the next stage, which is going to be our upward movement piece. But for right now, we're going to just do some refresh things like so.
Yeah, a little
So
air
that
dash.
kind of illustrates basically everything that we have now. We have refresh, we've got a sword, and we now have Blade Dash. So you can see how just with that little bit of routing, we were able to clear, you know, a bunch of obstacles and not really worry about them. This particular hill is a great example of a level that you can totally get by if you're just trying to fly upwards with either death clouds or by doing refresh. So it's kind of up to you. I personally like to use the clouds in this stage just because it ends up being a little more comfy since we don't have access to the horizontal slash yet. This stage is a very choreographed one, so now would be a good time for any kind of announcements or anything if you have them, Star.
Yeah, I have a couple of things we can talk about. First of all, did you know that Binary Breakers has a stream team? I hope you do, because I'm on the stream team. This is a great way to check out which of our members are live and give folks a follow. So anyone who has opted in for this can be found at twitch.tv/team/binarybreakers. So feel free to go and check that out. And you could also request to join the stream team by joining our Discord. If you're having a hard time finding, you know, our socials or Discord, whatever that might be, we have all of our links in one handy place. You can check out our website at binarybreakers.com, and you could also type !card. That is actually with 2 R's. So CARRD, and chat for a link to find out more about the...
Awesome. Thanks for that. I am also on the stream team. I can confirm that it rules, and you should totally do it if that interests you in any way, shape, or form. So we just finished off World 2 and we've started World 3. And you'll notice that at the end of World 2, we had a boss fight, which is, you know, more or less pretty standard. Except this boss was a big ninja teddy bear guy. Everybody really likes him. He's extremely polite. Generally when we talk to him about acquiring one of the keys.
Kiri's
Kiri
not
less
very
so.
polite.
Yeah, she learns her manners as the story goes on, which you should play this game for, even if you don't want to speedrun it, because it's fully voice acted. It's a lovely story about being true to yourself and discovering more about who you are and who you want to be compared to what other people might want you to be. It's super fantastic, and gay fox girls. So like, again, I if that hasn't sold you on picking this game up, or at the very least wishlisting it, I don't know what else will. Wait, that's a lie. I do know what else will. It's on sale this week, isn't it?
It's on sale until the end of tonight, actually.
Oh yeah, so you've got a little bit of time. How fortuitous. If this looks interesting to you, you can grab it on a discount right now, and then you can help me figure out why the magic postcard works the way that it does. Wouldn't that be nice? Cool. So yeah, we're moving into world 3 now. I guess to retouch on bosses real quick. Every world has a boss. They're all going to be themed around the element that the world kind of represents. So in the last case, we had, you know, like a forest kind of woodsy world. So we had a big bear. In this stage, as you'll see later, we're gonna have a fancy bug person that we're gonna fight, and there will be, you know, they'll all have powers or an arena that is related to the world that you're in. So we're gonna see all of those. They're all really short fights with Kiri because, again, sword, and you're gonna be hearing that a lot because sword, which is extremely helpful for basically all of the enemy routing in this run. As you can see, there's a lot of slight movement techniques to let us go faster underwater. Her horizontal slide does not care about where you are. You can be either out or in the water, and it will always move you at the same speed and same distance. And the blade dash also works underwater, so you can pretty safely move through as long as you're not hugging spikes or you don't misjudge your height and then get poked by a fugu or anything like that. Not that that would have happened to anybody recently.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't think so. We're now going to kind of elaborate more on what these lanterns do, which is pretty neat. So they have a function with the ghosts, as we already mentioned, but they have another interesting function, which is they reveal hidden doors. And we kind of saw this in the very first ghost house in World 1, where one of the lantern yokai revealed a hidden door for us to go through to finish the stage. But in this stage, we need to swim all the way down to the bottom of this, flooded vertical room, and then we have to grab a lantern. I really thought that ghost was going to get me.
That was a close one.
And now that we have this, we can swim all the way back up to the top, because we can disable the ghosts on the way. And when we get up here, we'll reveal a door for ourselves that we can go through. On the way down, you have to make sure you disable a couple of the fish, because if you forget they're there and you're speedy way up, then those fish will say hi to you. Yeah, it won't be fun. We can certainly say that much. All right, now this mini boss gets the first new move that the mini bosses will get, which is that jump. I really thought I was out of the way there, but that's all right. And so we're now going to start getting those attacks mixed in every once in a while. So we're now going to pick up our second skill, and this is where we're going to be able to show off a bit of the AI manipulation that we currently have for Aaron fights. Now that we have Blade Dash, and we learned it from Aaron, we both do the same move in the same way. So we can always get a perfect fight by just blade dashing the same way that she is, because she can't ever catch us. So this is going to be important for saving a lot of time on the runs, or the fights rather, and ultimately is going to give us access to just safer fights in general. But when we do, there is another a challenge run, I suppose, of this that both Rally and I are working on currently, which is a no-hit, basically, category. And in order to signify that you haven't taken any hits, there's like an item that serves as your second HP bar, which is a scarf.
Yep, it's a secret item in the very beginning of the game that you could only get one of, and you can't go back and get another copy of it. So if you pick it up, it's sort of just like a verifier for you haven't gotten hit at all. And trying to run through the game without getting hit at all is a pretty considerable challenge, and I think Bo and I have both been seeing how far we can get without losing the scarf. It's it's a fun challenge, and you know, if the game looks interesting to you, then like there's other levels of it you can play. You can kind of take advantage of the challenge mode, or take advantage of our friendly cloud mechanic. You know?
Yeah. And as you've probably seen, being able to manipulate, you know, a mini boss fight after doing all of these levels that we are intentionally taking deaths to get through is probably much comfier than trying to figure out some kind of no death strat or something like that. Didn't quite get the height that I wanted on that, but it's all good.
Spike's got your number today.
Yeah, they're a big fan of me. Unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of them. So we're coming up on the end of World 3 here. As mentioned before, we're going to have a boss fight. This one's pretty short. I don't think it's going to be... Oh, I guess we have this room first. Let's see if I can do this better than I did it on Friday.
Let's go.
Oh, almost.
Yeah, this room's a really cool showcase of the movement tech that you can get playing as Kiri.
Yeah, I'll take one minor drop there. That was a really solid 3-6. Yeah, so this is why I play the category. I love doing all of the cool chaining abilities, strategies, and things like that. It's so neat. It's super duper interesting. This game has like some of the most immaculate vibes as far as games that I've played recently go. Chat, don't forget to hydrate. Everybody take some time now. We're not doing anything, so make sure you get some water.
Yeah, keep that cup of water handy.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. We got through the level. Great job, Kiri. Really proud of you. Really proud. That is the only reason that we wait for the Power Fox pickup from Aaron in that boss fight. You'll notice that is the first like boss screen or ability unlock that we haven't quit out of yet, and it's specifically because if you quit out, you don't get the item that you would have gotten had you stayed in until the full completion of the stage and run out the other door. But because it's a little bit faster to do that, we will be doing it for most of it. All right, I remembered this time. Oh, wow. I did remember to jump before the Pango though, so we saved a bunch of time on this stage from Friday. But yeah, so now we're in the ice world. This is a pretty cool stage. No puns intended. I'm pretty sure the same thing happened to me on Friday. That not intentional at all. It genuinely isn't.
Part of the script now.
It's gonna have to be. Oh no, dogs.
Oh no.
Okay. That wasn't great. I didn't like that.
He chilled out.
They really weren't sure if they wanted to go back to Monty's wild ride.
This is another really cool ascent route. Like some of the ascents, you kind of take the good cloud and you go up and skip them, but some of them you can kind of take advantage of Kiri's abilities and you get a really cool climbing route. Like that was a really clean run.
Thank you. That's one of the best ones I've had recently, so no complaints from me. And now we're going to go to the antithesis of that kind of level, which is going to be a side scroller that we can't cheat. It's a super neat level. The floor and the ceiling shift, and every time you press the button, it either reverses the direction or just resets the speed and continues it. So the goal here is to press all the buttons to progress through the stage. Now you may be thinking to yourself, but Bo, surely there's a way that you could like crunch into the ceiling, right? Because we know that can save time already. Yes, crunching into the ceiling is fine, except if you get caught. If you get caught the right way, and I got caught the right way, it's not going to impact you. If you get caught the wrong way, which is to say that the place that the floor or ceiling crushes you into, the ceiling or floor, it can just kind of loop, and you can die many times while the game tries to catch up. So in that stage, generally, it is just faster to not try for any kind of shenanigans like that. That death ended up working out for me, but that was not what I was intending to do there at all. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. They do work, but it's not the best. This stage is fabulous.
Yeah, this is one of the really cool ideas that the game's level designer Lizstar has come up with a whole bunch of really cool level ideas, and that one is definitely one of the masterpieces. It is just lovely.
Yeah, I really like it. It's very cool. So as y'all saw, we could not see our platforms the entire time. So what we needed to do was we basically needed to do all of that platforming while staring at the other side of the screen, which is understandably not very natural feeling and pretty difficult to do. So I'm very happy we got through that pretty well. It's obviously a lot easier with Kiri than it would be with Yuzu, because we have the ability to kind of fix our mistakes somewhat with the uppercut and the blade dash, which I didn't do quick enough there. I wonder if that counted as a hit. I just heard the like clanking noise. We'll see. In this fight, Aaron is supposed to be giving us a like dive kick for those of you that are fighting game inclined. This right here, which is super duper cool. Oh, thank you, dogs. The dogs have been great today. I mean, these guys owe us something after, you know.
They felt bad. We had a talk after the last run, and we told them, you know, you gotta lighten up a little bit, and they felt bad. And
even today, doing donuts in Monty's parking lot. Oh, that was unfortunate. Doing donuts in Monty's parking lot is not a good look. They didn't have to do us like that, but they did.
So they're not that sorry. They're not that sorry.
No, not really. I don't think so. So in this area, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be damage boosting through these eels on the bottom here, because if we weren't doing this, we would have to, you know, there's a lot of ups and downs and things that we need to deal with, but none of that is super important to getting through this stage quickly, so we just don't worry about it. And instead we either damage boost or death boost through, because clouds also move normally underwater, so you get the same amount of that like speed boost that we were talking about earlier also will apply underwater, which makes it a very useful tool for you know.
It's a neat little triangle jump over the Caracasa.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to implement that a little bit more into the gameplay, because we don't really use Full Metal Geta, the dive kick. We don't really use that ability a lot, and I think it's a very neat one, and I would like to use it more. So I'm trying to feel it out. So in 4-6, we are racing a ghost, and in order to make it fair, we are also ghost now.
Yeah, you gotta level the playing field. It's not fair if they're intangible and you're kind of constricted by physical law, you know.
Everybody say GG's. It was a good race. GG's. Cool. So we're coming up on 4-7, which is a neat little stage. Again, there's not a ton happening here, so this would be this is actually a good time for me to be quiet, but it would be a great time to kind of explain the achievement that is tied to this level.
Take over for that. Normally the way this level works is it is a pretty standard invincible star run. There's a couple power-ups boxes, which are all the invincible stars that you can collect in a timely manner to kind of get through all the spikes. But because Kiri and her sword can fly, she can travel over top of the spikes, and using refresh to kind of maintain her flight, she doesn't need the stars. And if you play through the game and you're able to get to the end of this level without using any of the invincibility items, you do get an achievement for it. It's a secret little bonus challenge that you can opt into.
Yeah, it's super neat. And I almost had it there. I fumbled a little bit at the end, but we got very close.
It is fun that it ends up being faster that way too.
Yes, I agree. So that was the World 4 boss. There's usually a lot more mechanics, but we have a sword, so we don't care about them. We're going into World 5 here, and there's not a ton to explain early on. So, Star, this would be a great time for any other announcements if you have them.
Sure do. Thank you so much, Bo. So, just as a reminder, you're watching our Breakout Summer Games Edition. And coming up on August 8th, we will have our next Breakout, which is the Mixed Bag Variety Special. So if you do have a super unique, broken, awesome, random run, this is your chance to kind of get in and showcase your skills. So if you want to get involved in the Breakout run submissions and volunteer applications year-round to community members, so for more information and a server invite, you could reach out to us directly on Blue Sky, or you can always email us at info@binarybreakers.com. Thank you.
Ooh, nice recover.
Thank you. So we're now in World 5. World 5 is the air world. 5-1 has what I think is probably the most infamous slope jump in the game. You have to do it behind a cloud, and the timing is extremely tight, and I have not found a way to make it consistent. Please, somebody help me find a way to make it consistent. I really want to make it consistent. But as of right now, it is, unfortunate, a little bit slow on the blade dash there. At present, it is almost there, but not quite. So that level is one that I am actively trying to find a better route for.
Yeah,
5-2, however, is just a great example of chaining all of the refreshes together and doing all of the neat abilities back to back and all that good stuff.
Yeah, normally back at the start of the level, a line of cranes would fly through the air, and you have to ride on their backs and jump from crane to crane. Yuzu's kind of constrained by the cranes, but because Kiri has a sword and Kiri can cut to the chase, she can just fly on her own and just get there under her own power.
Speaking of flying, we're not going to do anything for the next minute and 20 seconds or so. So if there's anything that anybody wants to talk about, now's the time.
Sounds like you're queuing me up.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. So if you're watching at home and think, is the Binary Breakers community right for me? We understand that gender is complicated. So while this is not an exhaustive list of communities we serve, we want to take the time to expressly welcome folks from the speedrunning community who are non-binary, agender, third gender, two-spirit, trans non-binary, hey, that's me, gender fluid, genderqueer, intersex, bigender, and polygender into our space. We also wish to invite anyone that does not fit neatly into a particular label around gender, as well as people that reject gender altogether to join our community. It's just a good reminder here in Pride that you want to have a nice supportive community, and the Binary Breakers are more than happy to help welcome you in and give you a nice place to call home.
Heck yeah.
It's wonderful to be here.
Indeed.
Y'all are lovely.
No, you. Or rather, Andy.
Oh.
What y'all just witnessed is why we need to play the mini game. So you've probably heard of the Monty Hall problem before, and you probably have recognized that is what we were dealing with for those two games. That's also why we call the cat merchant Montgomery. So, what's interesting is normally the math says that you are better off switching anytime you play that game. You have a higher % chance of winning if you switch. But in our case, the RNG seed that we set up with our magic postcard means that the first game that we play will always be in the left if we choose the left. And the second one that we play will always be the switch if we pick the left. It will always be in the rightmost door if we switch. Because of that, we can guarantee to get 2 clouds, and having a cloud for 5-3 is just extremely fast, way faster than anything else we would be working with. This is the fight where this is the the last Aaron fight that we get an ability from, and this is where we get Spirit Rush. And Spirit Rush is going to be our very cool movement tech option that we use for basically the rest of the game to do all of the very, very neat stuff.
Good dogs.
Yeah, some good dogs. Except for that they can really lock onto your position. They're pretty good like that. Hammer Brothers at least just have an arc. These guys, actual snipers. All right, so this is going to be the first stage that we have access to Spirit Rush in, and I will try to demonstrate the first real trick that we have. Our setup for this is pretty good, so I think we got it. Oh, just barely off. But decent recovery. So you can land right on that question mark block and continue that jump and that momentum. Now 5-6 is a level that I have an interesting relationship with because there's not really a whole lot of speed tech. You can kind of like Spirit Rush into the water, and there's a couple of smaller things you can do, but this level is very slow because there's a lot of water that is vertical, and we unfortunately don't really have a way to ascend vertically quickly in water. The downside, probably the only downside to the uppercut, is that it really doesn't move you that high in the water. And I did it there just to kind of demonstrate what that would look like. It really doesn't do a great job of keeping you...
Uh-oh.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I thought I still had the blade dash. It doesn't really do a great job of moving you vertically. So unfortunately, we kind of just have to mash to get to the surface. And when you've got to do vertical up and downs with that, it's a little tough. So this tower stage is going to be the second cloud. This one is not required, and I do actually think it's probably a little bit faster. It's probably a lot bit faster, truly, but it's probably faster to ascend this tower without a cloud by using Spirit Rush cancels, which is something that we can explain in a little bit. But that is not a route I have practiced, so we're not going to do it. We're going to have to climb this the old-fashioned way. Which means we're going to be doing a little bit of... Oh, yeah, I got to go up the outside. We're going to be doing a little bit of old-fashioned platforming, aided by a refresh. And also aided by a different cloud. This is not my cloud, but we're going to borrow it. All right. A little bit slower. We lost like maybe 8 to 10 seconds there, but... yeah, I think this is a stage where it would genuinely be very fast if we could figure out strats for it. This is called the bow skip.
Say hi.
Oh, I stood on the apple. That's my fault. That's all right. He'll still die.
Say hi. Say goodbye.
GG. I forgot that the apples hurt you. So that's something I found during my casual playthrough, that quick kill. We currently think that the way that it works is that the boss gets hit and then falls far enough while doing that apple slice move that he hits the death plane and doesn't have time to recover. So that's the working theory right now, which is pretty neat and definitely interesting if true. Do I have enough? Yeah, okay, great.
It is somewhat thematic that you have a way to win the sword fight in one stroke.
Yes. And I was just interested in trying to hit him for just like a quick bit of damage before the fight started, and then it turned out that is just the way that you fight the boss. We're gonna reset this room. This is your standard like water level stage. Oh goodness. All right, well, we're just gonna have to take it this time. Having a rough time with this one today. This is your standard like water level stage. Our goal is going to be, or was going to be, to try and clear this in just the one cycle. Obviously, as you can see, it didn't quite work out that way. We may still be able to get there. No, we're gonna die. That's okay. All right, so we lost a decent bit there, about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Oof, ouch. Yeah. However, not a huge deal. When that level goes right, it looks real good. This level has a couple of cool SRCs in it. So we do like to do those, as many of them as we can. The first two are far more important than the third, because they get you pretty far down in the water like so, and obviously you get to skip the entire first area of the zone, which also has a pretty wide variety of unfortunate. I thought I might be able to save it by grabbing that side platform, but not quite. Oh man, I'm missing all of them today. I might just stop talking for a couple levels.
I think I could take over a little bit.
Yeah. Either way, we're gonna be using quite a bit of these things as we go, but not in 6.4. 6.4 is actually just like a cool cycle based. I always do that.
You can't
I
crouch
try to
behind
crouch. I try to crouch behind it like it's cover.
The
One of
dog
these days I
taketh
won't
and the
do
dog
that.
Taketh away.
It's true. I will take one death in dogs if it means that they keep arriving before ghost houses. I'm fine with that trade.
So if you want to lock in real quick, I think I could take over. This is the last ghost house in the game. It's lava themed, and it was designed with a very particular, like a fluid route to it. If you move forward and you can hit all of your timings, then you can kind of almost get through it all in one cycle before all of the little crushers.
I think we're okay. It moved quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried that we were going to get crunched forever there.
Yeah. But yeah, it is. Playing it on the easy difficulty does give you that that cloud, and it does let you just go as hard as you can all the time, because sometimes the dogs conspire against you and things don't work out. But you can always give it your best shot, and if it doesn't work out, you can get it on the next run.
Yep. That's part of why I really like this game. I feel like it's extremely accessible. It's got a lot of platforming greatest hits, if you will. There's a lot of the level design that just makes a ton of really good sense. There's a bunch of movement tech if you want to go really far into the deep end about all the neat stuff that you can do. Missing that uppercut. Probably fine. Yeah, we're fine. Let's look at the last one. GG. That was the last Aaron fight. So we're coming up on the end of the game here. We've got 2 more stages and then 2 more bosses, or 3 more stages, excuse me. How could I forget this one? The very, very long SRC.
Very nice.
Nice.
And now part 2. Well,
Yes.
almost part 2.
Oh, barely. All right. Good enough to get us all the way to the end, I think. Yes. Still good. So that's a great example of, we hit the first trick and we went very, very quick. The second one, we got most of the way through it, but you can see how much faster it is than trying to do that normally. So it's basically always worth it on this difficulty to go for tricks no matter what.
Yeah, that no-hit challenge run we were talking about before is pretty daunting, and there's a lot to learn and there's a lot to master, but the game is set up in a way where you can, work on it and master it at a pace, and eventually, you'll get where you want to be. But if not,
for sure.
It's always there for you.
All right, so we're coming up on the last official stage here. This well. The very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go for a bounceless setup here, which we got. It basically this is one of those where you're supposed to be bouncing on all of these breakable blocks all the way down this this drop, but we don't want to do that. We want to have access to all of our abilities.
Yeah, Bo found a pixel perfect skip to that section.
Yep, you can stand right on the very edge of that platform. You can line it up with either Kiri or Yuzu's left foot.
Now, there's a sneaky trick coming up here real quick. This is normally a longer level, but something happens, and now we're at the end of it.
Yeah, that's a secret, y'all, so don't tell anybody.
Yeah, just
No
between
telling.
just between us, you know.
Yeah,
Just
keep it a secret. Keep it a secret for us, huh?
Keep it here on Binary Breakers.
All right. So this is the last elemental boss. It's a neat little take on a boss. Hello. All right. Well, we're gonna be.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, we can save this. Oh, the tanuki behind the house. That's okay. All right, it's not okay anymore. This is a really neat take on a boss that normally looks a lot nicer than this. But we didn't get the. I don't think I kept speed enough in the beginning, so we didn't quite get the jump. But it is what it is. So now we're going into the final boss. So time is going to be when Yuzu jumps on the last orb. There's going to be a couple of phases to this fight. What's going to happen is we're going to be getting 3 hits as Yuzu. And then we're going to be mashing through a cutscene, or we're going to be skipping a cutscene where Kiri catches her and saves her. And then we're going to be doing some funny combat trickery with Kiri now that we have all of our fancy abilities. And then we have to mash through a cutscene. So there's going to be, there will be a point where I ask y'all to tell the foxes to talk faster. And I would really appreciate it if you did, in fact, tell them to talk faster. I'm pretty sure it works. It's not a guarantee, but it is pretty good.
They've got those big ears. They can hear you in chat, so
yeah, it's true.
Let them know we're on a schedule here.
All right, so this is the skippable cutscene. We're gonna do the Kiri thing, and we're on world record pace again. Oh, we might not be anymore. That's a really unfortunate death. Okay, that was good. Last one, please. Okay, didn't give it to us in time. All right, I think we're gonna be just shy now. We're looking for 47-43, I believe. So we may get it by a couple seconds. But
talk fast. Talk fast.
Yeah. Talk fast, foxes. Ooh, we're gonna be really close. I think we're gonna miss it by a second. Yeah, just barely missing it.
There it goes.
Still,
pesky rocks.
Time. So 47-47. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. Can't complain with that. And this is like, obviously, there were a lot of less than optimal stages in this. There's so much time that we can improve on. It is so cool. Oh, but before we get to the end, there is something very important. Chat room, I need you all to queue up a message in chat. The message is "Let's go lesbians." You're gonna know when to post it, okay? But I need you to queue it up. I need you to hold.
Hold. Not yet.
And let's go lesbians.
Let's go lesbians.
Okay, well that was Kiri %, y'all. Thanks for watching. It's this is definitely my favorite speedrun at the moment. We don't have to talk about how it's my only one, but it is my favorite one.
Yeah,
it's
amazing run. Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously the breakers, we wouldn't be here without the community existing, and it's super. It's honestly an honor to be included in a cool community event like this. So big ups for having me out and letting me run this cool game. Also shout out to the Rowdy Boys. I don't know if any of them are currently watching, but we appreciate the support that y'all give us basically all the time. Rally, anything for you?
Yeah, you know, give out a shout out to the boys. They know who they are. They're always they always got our backs, and we're always glad to have them here. So
yeah, for sure. So for me, you can find me over at twitch.tv/debonairvt. I stream a couple nights a week. The number's a little down right now because of real life, unfortunately, but I'm hoping to pull it back soon. I've got a couple of new speed games in the wings that I want to start learning, along with potentially picking up a randomizer or two. But we're also going to be playing a decent bit more of Kitsune Tales because I cannot get enough of this game. And there's a whole other half of the game that I need to learn still. So there's quite a bit of neat speedrunning stuff in the future.
I do hear that there's a big content patch coming soon too.
That's
So
also true. Yeah. There's I don't know when it's gonna drop, but I do know that there is a big content patch coming for this, and it includes, at the very least, easy access to a new game plus mode, which is going to open up a couple of brand new categories for this game that currently do exist but are very annoying to get to. So being able to just have an option in the game to do that is going to be good. I don't really know what else is going to be a part of it, but I'm really excited to play through it.
it's coming.
Yeah.
But
So I think that's all it for me. I'm once again I've been Bo. This has been Rally. Thanks y'all for hanging out.
yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Yeah. And remember, especially right now, to be kind to yourselves and love one another.
Aw, I couldn't have said it better myself. So thank you so much. Thank you again for the absolutely wonderful run. Folks, stick around because we will be doing a raid to a lovely marathon. I just wanted to take a minute to thank all of the runners from tonight. Everyone has been absolutely lovely. And just giving a couple more announcements real quick. Obviously, you were seeing our summer games, but August 8th, we'll have our next breakout for Mixed Bag. Also, Sunday, June 22nd, we'll be having a special event for Full Round Find Route. That'll be a chance to do a 100% route, kind of learn along with everyone. Ori and Mike will be part of that. And then, of course, if you are going to SGDQ, you should come to our first ever meetup. That is July 8th at 6 p.m. local time. So it's a good chance to meet other people in the community, mingle, get your badge ribbon. It'll be just great. So thank you again to all the runners. And I believe we are going to raid Preventathon as they're getting ready for their finale. So stick around. They're raising money for a little